Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most well-known figures in ancient history, Alexander the Great. He's widely regarded as one of the greatest military leaders in history, and his empire stretched from Greece all the way to India. Alexander was born in July 356 BC in Pella, the capital of Macedonia. He was the son of King Philip II, and his mother was Queen Olympia, daughter of King Neoptolemus. Alexander was raised by his mother and tutored by Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers in ancient Greece. Alexander became king of Macedonia after his father, King Philip II, was assassinated in 336 BC. Despite his youth, he was a charismatic and visionary leader and immediately set his sights on expanding the empire. Alexander was well educated, having been tutored by Aristotle, and he was well prepared to take on the mantle of leadership. One of Alexander's first acts as king was to secure his position by eliminating potential rivals. He also continued his father's policy of unifying the various Greek city-states under Macedonian rule. He quickly established himself as a strong leader and was able to rally the support of the Macedonian army and the Greek city-states. Alexander became king of Macedonia after his father, King Philip II, was assassinated in 336 BC. Despite his youth, he was a charismatic and visionary leader and immediately set his sights on expanding the empire. Alexander was well educated, having been tutored by Aristotle, and he was well prepared to take on the mantle of leadership. One of Alexander's first acts as king was to secure his position by eliminating potential rivals. He also continued his father's policy of unifying the various Greek city-states under Macedonian rule. He quickly established himself as a strong leader and was able to rally the support of the Macedonian army and the Greek city-states. Alexander's military campaigns were characterized by their speed, success, and tactical brilliance. Some of the notable campaigns during his reign include: Conquest of Persia. Alexander's first major campaign was against the Persian Empire, which was one of the largest empires in the world at the time. He led a massive army of over 40,000 soldiers and defeated the Persians at the Battle of Issus in 333 BC. This victory marked the beginning of the end for the Persian Empire, and Alexander continued his march towards the capital, eventually capturing it and effectively ending the empire. Battle of Gaugamela. In 331 BC, Alexander faced off against Persian King Darius III at the Battle of Gaugamela. This was a decisive battle and marked the end of Persian resistance to Alexander's rule. Alexander's tactical prowess and leadership skills allowed him to defeat a much larger Persian army, securing his position as ruler of the Persian Empire. Conquest of Egypt. In 332 BC, Alexander arrived in Egypt and was greeted as a liberator by the Egyptians, who were tired of Persian rule. He founded the city of Alexandria, which would become one of the most important cities in the ancient world. He also visited the Oracle of Amun at the Siwa Oasis, where he was declared the son of Zeus. Invasion of India. In 326 BC, Alexander led his army into India, where he faced resistance from the local rulers. He fought several battles and eventually reached the Indus River, where he faced his greatest challenge yet. Despite the odds, Alexander and his army were able to cross the river and defeat the Indian army, expanding his empire to the furthest reaches of the known world. Alexander's military campaigns were remarkable for their speed, success, and his ability to inspire and lead his troops. He was a visionary leader who was able to see beyond the boundaries of his own time and expand the Macedonian Empire to become one of the largest empires in the ancient world. Alexander the Great's death remains a mystery to this day, and there are several theories about how he died. The most widely accepted theory is that Alexander died of natural causes, likely from a fever or some other illness. He was known to have been in poor health in the months leading up to his death, and some historians believe that he may have contracted a disease during his campaigns in India. Another theory is that Alexander was poisoned by one of his own generals or members of his court. This theory is based on the fact that Alexander was known to have suffered from severe stomach pains in the days leading up to his death, and some historians believe that this could have been a result of poisoning. A third theory is that Alexander died from excessive drinking. He was known to be a heavy drinker, and some historians believe that he may have died from alcohol poisoning or liver failure. Regardless of the cause of his death, Alexander's passing marked the end of an era. He died in Babylon in 323 BC at the young age of 32. His empire was divided among his generals, and although his legacy lived on, it was eventually conquered by the Romans. Alexander the Great remains one of the most fascinating figures in history, and his life and accomplishments continue to inspire people to this day. Whether you're a history buff or simply interested in learning about one of the greatest leaders of all time, Alexander the Great is definitely a name you should know. We hope that you found this video informative and educational. If you enjoyed this episode of History Hub, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more historical content. And as always, we welcome your questions and feedback. Thank you for watching.